All right. Welcome to a different episode of Point of Order. In this episode, I want to share with you something that I heard today. So today is January 16th, 2025. And earlier today, I was listening to the weekly show with Jon Stewart's podcast. Jon Stewart, famously host of the television show The Daily Show, has a podcast called The Weekly Show. And on today's episode of The Weekly Show, there was something that Jon Stewart said that I wanted to share with you, my viewers, all 6 or 10 of you. And the quote is this: "Increasingly, I think that democracy is an analog system in a digital world." Increasingly, I think that democracy is an analog system in a digital world. And the podcast was speaking about government, of course. And Jon Stewart talked about having empathy with people and their belief that government is not as responsive as it should be. The emotional state that we live inside of this digital high-speed world has no comparison to the glacial pace that government moves at. And I wanted to throw this question out to you, this point of order, to get your thoughts. Because while we may be talking about politics at the national level specifically, I want to know your thoughts on how this applies to your assemblies, your deliberative assemblies, your group decision-making organizations with your formal meetings. I can see an argument, a very compelling argument, that our meetings, our formal meetings, are in fact part of the analog system of democracy. In that we meet face to face, and even if we are leveraging electronic means, it's an analog system using electronic delivery. So I think of platforms like Zoom or Teams that allow us to meet face to face over digital means, but we're still not inhabiting the digital world that many of us live in with the rest of our lives. And even though this quote was directed at, national political institutions, are there lessons that we can take from looking at this tension between an analog democracy and a digital world? Our organizations, not-for-profits, societies, they are part of the democratic process. Keep in mind, democracy is not just elections. It's what you do in between elections. It's how you participate in society. So this is an important question for us to consider, whether or not democracy is an analog system that is unable to keep pace in a digital society. So what are your thoughts? I said this is a different episode because I'm not providing a ruling. I don't know if this point of order is indeed well taken or not well taken, but I'd really like to hear what you think. How do you feel about this quote? Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? Why do you think the way you think? Is this point of order well taken? Is it not well taken? And why do you think that way? Meeting adjourned. Now why not check out one of these 2 videos? And I'll see you next time.